All right, so if you're at this step of needing to hire customer support, first of all, congratulations. That is awesome. That means you need some help so you don't burn yourself out. This is really big, and I suggest you do this early in the beginning. So if you're anywhere around $5,000 to $7,000 a month, at least in revenue, maybe it's time to start looking into customer support because it looks like it's going along in the right path. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So let's get into it. The first thing is we want to go to Online Jobs PH. Now let me actually pull that over here. Online Jobs PH is where we are going to hire our employees. And what's great is that since they're overseas, it makes taxes a lot easier. We don't have to worry about anything. It's like we're really honestly just hiring contractors that we pay per hour. So yeah, it's really simple. So this is for people out in the Philippines. And in the Philippines, this is probably one of the best areas to hire people from, just because their culture is, they're very dedicated, they're very good people. And so when you go ahead and you're filtering through, you have a good pool to filter from. And so that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is actually who and what your goal, like what's your goal? Like how are you gonna hire these people? So here is exactly what we're gonna do. So we are gonna post a job application on this website, and this is going to allow a lot of people to go and come to us. However, we need to have a little filter system so you're not bombarded with hundreds of messages of everyone saying that they can now work for you. I want to show you exactly what I do to filter everybody. So you can kind of see here, peeking through is a little video. And what we want to do is actually create a video, and we're going to use this little Chrome extension, Loom, right? A little pro tip here. If you're going to get good people on your company or into your team, you also have to look like an A player. If you look like just another spammy dropshipper and trying to hire people, good people can sense that, and you're not going to get good applicants. So it is also your job as the owner to actually get good people on your team and to respect the people that are actually applying as well, because you want to get the cream of the crop, and you're going to have to go a little bit above and beyond, at least in the beginning, to make sure that you are different than a bunch of these other people that honestly waste these guys' time. So what I do specifically is, first, I actually outline the vision of the company. A lot of people worry that, hey, is this just, going to be a job for like a couple months or a couple weeks? And I say like, hey, I have a really good success rate in e-commerce. This is whether it's this store or several other stores, we're going to be up for 1 to 4 years. And what I'm specifically looking for is I'm looking for someone who's very adaptable, who's very eager and willing to learn a lot about Shopify and help with the day-to-day process, and who could be a very good leader. So those are just some of the keywords I say. And what that kind of outlines immediately is that this is a long-term job. This is going to be worth their time, and it's also going to be worth their time to watch through the rest of the video. Now, in the rest of the questions, this is now how you're going to qualify them, and what's going to make it easier, if you make a video, at the end, you're going to ask them to make a video and reply back to you. So now, the reason why I like that, by the way, is because it puts them on the spot. It literally puts them on the spot, and you'll immediately be able to tell if they have good English, if they're quick on their feet, and if they're actually if they're intelligent. If they're like, well, and they're kind of drifting off, not really remembering your questions, then you know that they're not on the ball. You are looking for someone, truthfully, not just a customer chat agent, but like almost like a project manager blended in with a customer chat agent. If you can score with that, where you have someone who is diligent and who could actually potentially move up the ladder and actually manage other people, then this is going to be well worth your time to go ahead and do this process. And by the way, guys, this little filter process took me a while to figure out. I tested a lot of different things, and if you don't do this, let me just say, if you don't do something like this, you're going to end up like literally giving everyone a little chance to hop on your company, and you're going to be wasting so much time. Anyway, so let's go over the questions that we're going to ask. One of the first ones that I like to ask is, what is their previous job experience? If they're not in Shopify or no Shopify, I actually don't really care. That is a little bit of a bummer, But if they seem like they are an A player, I just keep on using that word because if they seem like they are worth onboarding, then I'll overlook the fact that they don't know Shopify. I don't really care because there's only a couple things you really need to do into Shopify to answer questions about where's my order. So, and then the next thing, I want to know what happened at their last job. I want them to specifically tell me, and I want to see whether they're lying or not, what happened at their last job. Why are they not hired anymore? What is their frequency? Like, do they have jobs every other week? Like, what's going on? And what I should say is what happened at their last job and how long were they at their last job? Another thing I ask is what was their hourly pay at their last job? This is going to give you a good range and see like what they're expecting at this new job. Always like what you could say is, hey, look, all right, I understand you're looking for $7 an hour. What we do is we start everyone at $5 an hour, but I can quickly move you up if this is going to work out to $7 an hour and so on. But right now, this is the base pay. And some people aren't for it, and some people are. Like, I'll have a lot of people, actually have some people that are at $4 an hour, and they just answer chats, and they're extremely happy. The next thing is, I like to ask, what do they like to do in their free time? One of the best responses I had to this was one person was like, well, I like to read and learn. I'm like, ooh, I love it. And so what they were saying is they like to read these self-development books and self-help books. And what do you know? That person to this day is one of my best employees or team members, I should say. And I absolutely love having her on the team. Now, another thing is I specifically like to, for customer chat, I noticed women are much better at organizing and paying attention to details. So I really like to hire women for customer chat. And so one of the other things that I like to ask is, what is their internet speed? So you just ask that, and they're going to send you a screenshot of what their internet speed is, and you can see whether or not it's fast or slow, or they don't even have internet or something. I don't even know how they would reply, but you can see that it's so slow, it's practically like they don't even have internet. So that is the general overview. Now I want to go into actually how we would navigate through this thing. So right here, you could see all I did was I went on PH Jobs. Right here, this is PH Jobs. You're just gonna sign up. You need to create an account, and the next thing is you could type in customer support, and you can see all these people that you can hire, right? Well, specifically, we're not gonna be going through individually. We're gonna post a job. We're gonna post a job application, and when we do that, we're gonna see this, and you're gonna fill this out, and you're gonna paste very similar to what I put right here. You're going to have literally this plus the video, and you're going to be asking for a video in return. Make sure you put that in the text, like, hey, please send me a video in return. Thank you. And so anyway, that is exactly what you're going to do, and it actually simplifies the process of reading through, individually line by line, because some people won't send you a video back, and that's fine. That means great. If they have something else better to do, that's great. But anyone who sent me a video back, they were so much easier to filter through, and honestly almost 80% of them were already good enough, but I could only hire 1 to 2. So anyway, that's the first part. The second part is, once you actually get someone on your team that you like, once you go through all this and you find someone, you get them on Skype, sure, you can hop on the phone with them if you really want, but really it's going to be, you need to give them the test, right? They need to go through and start answering chats. And that is going to be up to you on how you're going to explain what your company is about, what the frequently asked questions are. You're going to have to help them out in the beginning. And eventually what you're going to have is a really good person that's well educated on your team, and you'll never have to do it again. And anyone you hire, that person is going to train all those people, right? But in the beginning, you're going to have to just train them, and it's really easy actually. But the next thing that wasn't so easy for me to notice is, how do you track how many hours these people are working? Super, super, super important. The reason why is because if there's no incentive for them to be tracked, they are going to really log in a bunch of hours, and they're going to be, accidentally cooking breakfast and letting the time roll on through. So what I use is this thing called Time Doctor. It's one of the best things and really easy for two reasons. First of all, it just helps you understand what's going on the other side. It gives you even some screenshots. You can see, okay, yes, they were answering chats, and you could even see like, oh shoot, like they were really stuck on, let's just say, the customer chats, or manually putting in orders, or doing some kind of task. Be like, shoot, I need to simplify that process for them, so that way it's not all day that they're working on it. It also helps you as a business owner to see where the sticky points are. And then the second point, payroll. You can actually have all of their hours calculated and their exact how many hours they worked and what pay they're at. And at the end, you can have payroll almost completely automated. You just click OK, yes, and you pay through PayPal or whatever you want to pay them through. You just walk through the steps. Time Doctor is definitely, I use it, and it's really easy. But other than that, follow all these steps and you'll be a pro on onboarding a new team member. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the very next